The moment you arrive, you feel it. Not because someone tells you, not because a sign welcomes you, but because everything moves differently here. The air feels lighter. The streets feel quieter, yet alive. People walk with purpose, not panic. There is no rush to impress, no desperation to survive, no visible fear of tomorrow. This is the Netherlands. Not the postcard version, not the tourist fantasy, but the real, everyday life that slowly reveals itself the longer you stay. For many people around the world, the Netherlands exists only as an idea, a place of canals, bicycles, freedom, and tidy houses lined up like they were drawn with a ruler. A country people dream about when they feel tired of chaos, instability, or uncertainty back home. But dreams and reality are not always the same. So before we talk about salaries, jobs, housing, or culture, before we list the pros and the cons, we must start here, with the first feeling. Because the first feeling tells you more about a country than statistics ever will. A country that doesn't shout. One of the most surprising things about the Netherlands is what it doesn't do. It doesn't shout. It doesn't overwhelm you with noise. It doesn't constantly remind you of power, wealth, or authority. Even in its biggest cities, there is a strange calmness. Cars exist, but they don't dominate. People talk, but they don't yell. Police are present, but not intimidating. It feels as if the country itself is confident enough not to prove anything. And that confidence shows everywhere. In the way people queue without arguing, in the way traffic flows without chaos, in the way rules are followed, not out of fear, but out of agreement. You begin to realize something important very quickly. This is a system that trusts its people, and people who trust the system. The scale of life. Coming from a megacity, the Netherlands can feel small. Not in importance, but in scale. Buildings are rarely towering giants. Neighborhoods are human-sized. Shops, schools, parks, hospitals, everything feels reachable. You don't feel lost inside concrete jungles. You don't feel like a number swallowed by millions. Instead, life feels designed. Designed so that a child can cycle to school safely. Designed so that an elderly person can walk without fear. Designed so that families don't need to fight for basic space. This design doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of decades of planning, discipline, and long-term thinking. And when you live inside such a system, something inside you changes. Your stress levels drop. Your patience grows. Your daily survival mode slowly turns off. The quiet power of order. Order is everywhere, but it's subtle. You won't see soldiers on the streets. You won't see loud authority. You won't see fear-driven obedience. Instead, you'll notice roads without potholes, footpaths without broken tiles, public spaces without trash, systems that work even when no one is watching. This kind of order sends a powerful message to the mind. You are safe here. And when people feel safe, they behave differently. They plan long-term. They invest in their homes. They raise children with confidence. They don't live day-to-day in survival mode. This is one of the biggest invisible differences immigrants feel, even if they can't explain it in words. People who mind their own business. At first, this can feel strange. No one stares at you. No one judges your clothes. No one interferes in your personal choices. You can be religious or not, traditional or modern, quiet or expressive. As long as you respect the law and don't disturb others, you are left alone. This personal space is deeply respected. Neighbors don't interfere. Colleagues don't pressure. Society doesn't force itself into your private life. For many newcomers, this feels like freedom. For others, it feels cold. But either way, it's real. A different relationship with time. In many countries, time is an enemy. People are late, deadlines move,
promises are flexible. Here, time is respected. If a meeting is at 9, it starts at 9. If a store closes at 6, it closes at 6. If someone says they'll call tomorrow, they usually do. This creates trust, and trust is the foundation of everything else: business, friendships, employment, even government. You don't need to chase people. You don't need to remind them constantly. The system supports reliability. Over time, you either adapt to this rhythm or you struggle with it. The first internal question. After a few days or weeks, a question quietly forms in your mind. Could I live like this? Not as a tourist, not for a holiday, but as a normal person with responsibilities, bills, routines, and challenges. Some people feel relief. Some feel boredom. Some feel hope. Some feel discomfort. And that reaction is deeply personal, because the Netherlands doesn't try to entertain you. It offers stability, not excitement, structure, not drama, security, not chaos. And not everyone wants that. Why this first impression matters. Many people make a mistake when judging a country. They look only at money or weather or social media images. But real life is lived in systems, not in snapshots. The Netherlands is a country where systems matter more than shortcuts. Planning matters more than luck. Discipline matters more than force. And if you don't understand this from the beginning, everything else will feel confusing. This is why Section 1 matters. Because before we talk about jobs, salaries, food, culture, or freedom, you must understand the soul of the place. And the soul of the Netherlands is simple: a quiet, disciplined society built for people who value stability over spectacle. After the first impression settles, after the novelty fades and the streets start to feel familiar, real life begins. This is where the Netherlands reveals its true character, not through monuments or policies, but through daily routines. Because countries are not defined by their governments, they are defined by how ordinary people live on ordinary days. And daily life in the Netherlands follows a rhythm that surprises many newcomers. Mornings that start without panic. In many parts of the world, mornings begin with stress. Alarms ring too early, traffic is already unbearable. People rush out of their homes half awake, mentally preparing for chaos. In the Netherlands, mornings feel different. People wake up knowing roughly how long it will take to get anywhere. Traffic jams exist, but they are predictable. Public transit usually runs on time. Children leave for school calmly, often on bicycles, without parents fearing for their safety. This predictability creates mental peace. When life is predictable, people don't waste energy worrying about things going wrong. They save that energy for living. The bicycle is not a symbol, it's a tool. For outsiders, bicycles look like a lifestyle statement. For the Dutch, they are simply practical. Children cycle, parents cycle, office workers cycle, elderly people cycle. Rain, they cycle. Wind, they cycle. Cold, they cycle. Not because they love suffering, but because the entire country is built for it. Dedicated bike lanes, traffic rules that protect cyclists, parking spaces designed for bikes, not cars. This changes how people experience their cities. They are more connected to their surroundings. They move slower, notice more, and interact more naturally. Life doesn't rush past a car window, it unfolds around them. A strong boundary between work and life. One of the most defining aspects of Dutch daily life is this: work is important, but it is not life. When working hours end, people go home. Emails stop, calls wait till tomorrow. Overworking is not admired here. Burnout is taken seriously. Time off is respected. People protect their evenings. They cook, they spend time with family, they meet friends, they rest without guilt. This balance is not accidental, it's cultural. The idea is simple. A tired, stressed human is not a productive human. The Dutch communication style. This is where many newcomers feel culture shock. The Dutch are direct, very direct. If something is bad, they say it's bad. If something is good, they say it's good. If they disagree with you, they tell you, calmly, clearly, without drama. This is not rudeness, it's efficiency. They don't like guessing games. They don't like hidden meanings. They don't like passive aggression. At first, this honesty can feel harsh, but over time, many people begin to appreciate it. You always know where you stand. There are few misunderstandings, less fake politeness, less passive aggression. Privacy is sacred. Another key part of the Dutch mindset is privacy. People don't ask personal questions. They don't comment on your choices. They don't interfere unless invited. Your life is your responsibility.
This creates emotional distance, but also freedom. You are not constantly evaluated, not constantly judged, not constantly pressured. But this also means relationships take time. Friendships here are not instant. They are slow, stable, and deep. Once trust is built, it lasts. Simplicity over show. Luxury exists in the Netherlands, but it is quiet. You won't see much showing off. You won't see flashy displays of wealth. You won't see people trying to look richer than they are. Cars are practical. Clothes are comfortable. Homes are functional. Success is not measured by appearance, but by stability. Can you pay your bills? Can you take vacations? Can you live without stress? That is wealth here. Children are raised for independence. Dutch parenting reflects the wider mindset. Children are encouraged to be independent early. They cycle alone. They manage small responsibilities. They speak their minds. Parents don't hover constantly. Schools focus on emotional well-being, not just grades. The goal is not to create perfect children, but capable adults. This creates confident, calm young people who grow up trusting the system around them. The evenings, a quiet end to the day. As evening arrives, the country slows down. Shops close early. Streets become quieter. Homes light up warmly behind large windows. Families eat together. People relax without noise. The pace becomes gentle. To some, this feels peaceful. To others, boring. And that's the truth about Dutch daily life. It gives you stability, but asks what you will do with it. Living in the Netherlands is not about excitement. It's about consistency, predictability, mental peace. Some people thrive here. Others feel restless. The country doesn't change for you. You either adapt or you don't. And understanding this mindset early saves years of confusion. Work culture and job reality. How people actually earn and live. Once daily life becomes familiar, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. In the Netherlands, work is not a battlefield. For many newcomers, this is the biggest mental shift of all. Back home, work often feels like survival. You accept bad conditions because you have no choice. You stay silent because speaking up feels risky. You work longer hours because losing your job could mean losing everything. Here, the relationship between worker and employer is fundamentally different. A system that protects the worker. In the Netherlands, labor laws are strong, and they are enforced. You are not easily fired. You are not expected to work unpaid overtime. You are not disposable. Contracts matter. If you perform your duties and respect your role, your job is stable. This stability allows people to plan their lives years ahead. They buy homes, they start families, they take loans without fear. This sense of security changes how people behave at work. They are calmer, more focused, less desperate to please. Working hours are not flexible, they are fixed. The standard work week is around 36 to 40 hours.
When your shift ends, it ends. Staying late does not impress anyone. It raises questions. Why couldn't you finish on time? Is the workload unrealistic? Is the system broken? Efficiency is valued more than endurance. People work hard, but only during work hours. Part-time work is normal, not failure. One of the most misunderstood aspects of Dutch work culture is part-time employment. In many countries, part-time work is seen as a problem. Here, it is a choice. Many professionals work 4 days a week. Some parents work 3. This is especially common among women, but not limited to them. The goal is balance. Earning enough to live well matters, more than earning the maximum possible. Hierarchy exists, but it's flat. Managers are approachable. Directors sit in open offices. Titles don't create distance. You can speak openly. You can disagree respectfully. You can suggest changes. Ideas are valued more than status. This does not mean there are no rules, but power is not abused. Changing careers is possible. Another key difference, you are not trapped in one profession for life. People retrain. They switch industries. They start again in their 30s or 40s. The system supports this through education and vocational programs. Your past doesn't permanently define your future. Pay is fair, not excessive. Salaries are stable and predictable. You may not become rich quickly, but you will live comfortably if you budget wisely. Most people can do both: pay rent, buy quality food, take vacations, save a little. Wealth is not extreme, but poverty is rare. Respect at work is non-negotiable. Discrimination, harassment, or abuse are not tolerated. If problems arise, there are systems to handle them. You are not alone. This gives workers confidence, even immigrants, to stand their ground. Work does not define identity. Perhaps the most important difference of all, people here are not defined by their job titles. No one asks, "What do you do?" to measure your worth. Life has value beyond employment. You are a human first, a worker second. The reality check. This system works, but only if you adapt. You must be punctual. You must be honest. You must respect boundaries. If you expect shortcuts, favoritism, or chaos, you will struggle.
Salaries, expenses, and the cost of a stable life. After understanding how people live and work, the next question becomes unavoidable. Can you actually afford this life? Because comfort, peace, and stability always come at a price, even in one of the world's most organized countries. The Netherlands is not cheap, but it is predictable, and that difference changes everything. Salaries, not dream level, but realistic. Let's start with income. In the Netherlands, salaries are designed for living, not for showing off. You won't suddenly become rich overnight, but if you work full-time, you can survive without constant fear. Most entry to mid-level jobs pay enough to cover essentials: rent, utilities, food, health insurance, transport. With careful budgeting, you can also save slowly. The system assumes that 2 people often contribute to a household, which is why single-income families feel more pressure. Taxes, high but visible. Yes, taxes are high, but you see where your money goes. Clean streets, reliable public services, healthcare access, education quality, social security. This creates a different mindset. People complain about taxes, but they also trust the system. Rent, the biggest challenge. Housing is the hardest part of life in the Netherlands, not because homes are bad, but because demand is high. Rent consumes the largest portion of income. Finding a place requires patience, paperwork, proof of income.
The market favors stability, not urgency. Utilities and monthly bills. Monthly costs are stable but significant. Electricity, gas, water, internet, none are free. The good news, no surprise bills, no system failure, no sudden shortages. You pay and things work. Food, quality over quantity. Groceries are affordable if you cook. Food quality is high. Standards are strict. Safety is guaranteed. Eating out often is expensive. Home cooking is the norm. This encourages healthier habits. Transport, functional, not cheap. Public transport is efficient but costly. That's why bicycles dominate. Cars are optional, not essential. The system pushes people towards simpler choices. Health insurance, mandatory but reliable. Health insurance is required. You pay monthly and you receive care when needed. No begging, no bribing, no fear of being rejected. This alone gives peace of mind. The real cost of stability. Living in the Netherlands is not about luxury, it's about removing fear from daily life. You pay for safety, predictability, structure. If you value excitement, chaos, or fast money, this place may feel restrictive. If you value peace, planning, and mental stability, it feels worth every euro.